following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
Sounds 30 years of the best sports talk in Middle Tennessee, featuring Tennessee Radio Hall of Famer George Plaster, Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame coach Watson Brown, and Young Guns Billy Derrick and Michael Cindric. And now, here's your host, George Plaster.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome in. It is Friday. Oh, yes. Thank goodness. Long week, but a good show for you today with a big surprise at 5:30. I'll let you in on the surprise. Danny Evans will join us from the Field of Dreams site where the Major League game was played last night between the Reds and the Chicago Cubs. Amazing story. It really is. And Danny is going to give us some of the sights and sounds of what all goes on there. Let's first of all call roll, say hello to Coach Watson Brown, who joins us from up on the plateau. Watson, how are you?
George, I'm doing great. Nice to get Danny back.
So, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
He's been working hard.
Oh, yes, he has. Yeah.
How much of it did you get to see?
Not a ton. Saw more the end of it because I was watching the Titans. So went back and forth enough to. Again, it's just the atmosphere is so good. I'm not sure it matters how the game is. To tell you the truth.
Oh yeah. No, the how that gets played is sort of secondary. Billy, how much did you watch?
George, I like Watson. I was watching the Titans. I feel bad. I kind of forgot about the Field of Dreams game, a little bit. But
don't tell Danny that.
I will not let Danny hear about that. But it looked like it was cool. Did you see the Harry Carey hologram?
Yep.
It was kind of creepy, but that was cool. I did not expect that.
No, but with the Cubs, he is certainly Mr. Cubs. So why not? Hey, before we go any farther, I want to thank the folks with the Gallatin Touchdown Club. I was their speaker last night. Watson, my suspicion is that hundreds had turned them down before they turned to me.
I'd say you could probably bet the house on that one, yeah.
It was good stuff. Great food. Man, they know how to throw a spread on in Gallatin. Very impressed. And again, thanks to that group. Randy Moore from Main Street Media for setting it up. We had a good time. So what's with the shades?
Well, George, I probably need to take them off. They got too much of my computer screen.
Right. Are those sponsored?
No, they're not.
Coca-Cola, maybe?
Looking at a screen all day, gets kind of hard on the eyes.
Is that really true?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Blue light glasses.
Yeah.
But, George, are we ready for the update?
Well, we are. Don't you read something?
I do.
Okay.
I read a couple of things. We start with the Justin Tucker team. They are powered with Platinum Realty Partners, proven to be trusted with your most personal asset. The Justin Tucker team, call them at 615-906-8458. And we're also sponsored by Sumner Funeral and Cremation. They are sharing their family with yours in your time of need, now with 2 convenient locations in Gallatin and Hendersonville, and online at sumnerfuneral.com. Sumner Funeral and Cremation, traditional, affordable, and dignified.
If you were wondering about Terry, he will be back with us on Tuesday. I'm jealous. He's at Fenway tonight to see his beloved Yankees against the Red Sox. The Red Sox are in last place. And so even though I would like to think they could do some damage, it's not going to happen. Not likely.
Not likely, George.
Okay. You got item number one?
Item number one is ready to roll. Greg Sankey apparently wants to look at expanding the NCAA basketball tournament. Now, he's not the NCAA commissioner. He is the SEC commissioner.
What's the difference? There's
really not a difference right now. But he told SI today that he wants to take a fresh look at the format of the NCAA tournament. I love how he's saying he would like to take a fresh look.
Well, God knows if he says it, we all have to bow down. Watson, this is all about the Greenbacks.
It's about the Greenback and expanding his conference. He wants to get more in.
Yeah.
The more teams they put into your league, the harder it is to keep getting but so many in. And I think he's trying to make sure he can get his teams in.
So let me ask both of you this. It feels like a tournament that nobody can screw up. It really does. But could you go so far with it that you do screw it up?
Sure. Absolutely. I mean, you water it down to where the first weekend is very poor and you might lose some eyeballs, to be very honest, if it stayed that way consistently year after year. Yes, I think it could be a watered down first weekend for sure if you keep expanding.
Yeah, I mean, can you get it even bigger than 68? I mean, you already got it up to 68. I don't know that you need any more teams.
Oh, you don't. But I think at the smallest, they go to 72 and continue that Tuesday, Wednesday thing, which I used to say was to fund the Contras and the Nicaraguans. I don't know. I mean, I know there are coaches that want to go to 96. Man, that seems radical to me.
I don't see how you make that work.
No,
Greg
they'll figure a way.
Greg Sankey wants it to happen. So we'll have to see about that. But item number two, Georgia, if we're ready, staying with college basketball, Rick Byrd, of course, the legendary former Belmont basketball coach, he has been named to the NIT committee. How about that?
That is a really nice honor for him, prestigious. Watson, what else can you say? It's deserved. He's a Hall of Famer.
There's nothing to say. You're dead on. It would be wrong for him not to be put on it.
Listen to this part of it, though. First time, this what Billy's about to read will be the first time this has happened since 1938.
Oh, yeah, NIT. They're planning on moving to Las Vegas in 2023 and then Indianapolis in 2024. Those two host cities, they're selected after a nationwide bid process in the spring, and they will be at Orleans Arena, hosted by UNLV, and then Hinkle Fieldhouse, hosted there in Indianapolis.
Hinkle Fieldhouse is where Butler plays. I don't think this is a half bad idea. I think this thing has gotten stale in New York. The more and more I see at the Garden, Watson, the more and more empty seats I see. Now, it may not do any better at the others, but, you know, what the heck?
Might not be a great time to be going on the NIT if they're going to expand the NC2A. What does that leave for the NIT?
Table scraps.
Yep.
Yeah, the NIT, I think they're probably happy about this Vegas and Indy move because there may not be much of an NIT for long. But we move on, George.
NIT standing for not invited.
Not invited.
Not in tournament.
Not in the tournament.
Wow, nice.
George,
Hold on a second. Watson.
What?
How long had you practiced that one?
I just said it just now.
Come up with that.
I've heard that one.
Just really? Now, while you were sitting there babbling on, I said, "Oh, NIT stands for not in tournament."
Gosh, even at your age, you are so sharp.
He is so sharp.
Thank you so much. Early shot today.
Early, very early.
Early shot. I guess you think you got to get an old man early, you might fall asleep late on you, right?
Pregame. Well, of course, today, since you get out of here at 4:40 for your
so you didn't have long to take shots.
No, I had to get them in early.
Excuse me. You had to fire the shots in the first quarter, didn't you, boy?
Absolutely. Nap time, what, till 6:30?
You're close.
All right, we move on to NFL news. There's an update on the Deshaun Watson saga. Apparently, he's willing to take an 8-game suspension.
Well, isn't that special?
So, and a $5 million fine.
Okay, so basically that piece of news is his side saying that they know what the NFL has, and they know that her ruling, Mrs. Robinson, that was a joke. Yes?
I still think it'll be more than that, but we'll see.
Oh, I do too.
I don't think it'll be 8. I think it'll be 12. That's my guess.
Yeah. And $5 million fine, fairly hefty.
Yep. But what was the commissioner's amount? Was it 15?
Supposedly more than that. Watson, isn't this them admitting, okay, look, we know you've got the goods?
I don't know. I don't know. I think they're just trying to play their hand. That's what I think they're doing. They're hoping for, they throw out the 8 to see if they can knock it down to maybe 9 or 10. I just think they're playing their hand out, George. I don't think they're really thinking that. They know what they've had all along.
Yeah.
They knew exactly what the NFL had because they've got the same info.
If this were blackjack, Billy, they have a 5 and the dealer has a 20.
They got the advantage.
It does appear that way. He supposedly, let me say this. They play tonight in Jacksonville, and the rumor had been out for a while today that the NFL would get the ruling today and pull him off the field in the middle of pregame. I'm told now that's not going to happen and that a decision will not come down today. So for what it's worth, there you go.
All right, George, we move on. More NFL news. Kirk Cousins is out with COVID. Vikings quarterback has tested positive for COVID-19. He'll be required to isolate for at least 5 days, meaning he will not travel with the team for Sunday's preseason opener against the Raiders. We'll have to keep our eye out on old Kirk Cousins.
Can I give him, Watson, a little bit of advice?
Yeah, go for it.
Don't watch midday television. God.
Say there ought to be something else better to do than watch.
Oh, my God, it'll send you into a straitjacket. Watch the NFL Network.
It'll suck the life out of you.
Oh. So Minnesota's supposed to play, they play Vegas Sunday in a national TV game, and he will not be involved.
He wasn't going to be anyway.
So likely wasn't going to be involved anyway. So
no,
he saved himself a road trip.
Yeah. I guess Tannehill, a lot of them didn't travel last night, right? I didn't see any of them on the sidelines.
You think they stayed here to watch our show?
Yeah, probably did. That's a good thought, George.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think
makes sense. And then we'll miss it.
Sure they did. What else?
George, we got one more here.
Okay.
Title says Black NFL refs medical test rescored. Apparently, hundreds of Black NFL retirees denied payouts in the $1 billion concussion settlement now qualify for awards after their tests were rescored to eliminate racial bias. I'm not going to sit here and say I understand this story. I think you have a better grasp of it than I do.
Probably not, but this involves a lot of dementia cases, which are very, very sad. Watson, as much as we love football, some of the after effects that you see are downright scary.
Most of the real scary ones are something to do with your head and neck area, George, to me. The long-lasting ones seem to be that. I mean, I've got joints right today that have never been the same since playing football, college football. Yeah. But I'm fine with them. I've learned to live without certain things. But that head and neck area, man, that's tough. And I've seen coaches, players kind of fussing about these helmets, the pads they put on their helmets in practice. To me, at least, the NFL's doing everything it can to try to help with the concussions and the different issues like that.
Okay, let me be a smart aleck, though. If those things are important enough to mandate in practice, why are they not important enough in a game?
I'm not sure they aren't, and I'm not sure that somebody's not going to develop a helmet with it within the helmet, George. I think that may be coming in a short period of time here. I don't know. It's a good question. If you think that, why wouldn't you make them wear them even now? They're heavy, they're bundlesome, I think, and that's what I hear the complaints in practice are. So they're going to have to keep working at that and get it a little lighter. But you just watch. I bet it's headed in that direction.
It's not a great fashion look, but this is not about fashion. This is about keeping people's lives intact. And, you know, as much as we love football, man, my wish is that we could make a breakthrough in the area you just talked about, Watson, where it would get a lot safer.
If we can do that, we save a lot of lives, but we also save football. Because if this keeps going, George, and we keep having more and more people deal with this from football, football could disappear. Seriously. So
yeah, you're absolutely right.
They're on an important thing for a lot of people's sake here. And I hope that we can get to the bottom of it and come up with an answer. Okay,
after the break, we're going to get down and dirty on the Titans preseason opener in Baltimore. The final score 23-10 in favor of the Ravens. Do we care? No, absolutely not. 2 words to describe last night: Malik Willis. We'll talk about him and more when we come back. This is Main Street Media Television.
Buying or selling a home can be a very personal experience. Why not go with the team that receives nearly all of their business from referrals? Clearly a trusted name in real estate. The Justin Tucker team with Platinum Realty Partners has sold more than 500 homes in the last 7 years. Voted best in Sumner County multiple times. Proven to be trusted with your most personal assets. Call the Justin Tucker team with Platinum Realty Partners at 615-906-8458. The Justin Tucker team with Platinum Realty Partners, Middle Tennessee's most trusted team in realty.
I highly recommend Sumner Funeral and Cremation because of their caring nature and attentiveness to detail.
Pre-planning your funeral now will bring you peace of mind and less stress to your loved ones. When the chaos of losing you happens, your family can honor and celebrate your life, knowing things are happening just as you wanted them to. Pre-planning determines the details of your funeral, cemetery services, and can be less expensive. We are honored to serve you and are always here for you in your time of need.
Sumner Funeral and Cremation. Traditional, affordable, dignified. SumnerFuneral.com.
I highly recommend Sumner Funeral and Cremation because of their caring nature and attentiveness to detail.
Pre-planning your funeral now will bring you peace of mind and less stress to your loved ones. When the chaos of losing you happens, your family can honor and celebrate your life, knowing things are happening just as you wanted them to. Pre-planning determines the details of your funeral, cemetery services, and can be less expensive. We are honored to serve you and are always here for you in your time of need.
Sumner Funeral and Cremation. Traditional, affordable, dignified. SumnerFuneral.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Titans opened play last night in the preseason in Baltimore. The scoreboard says they lost 23-10. Who cares? So what? It's preseason football. It's a lot more about individual performances. So we tried to come up with some different stuff today to sort of talk about what all went on. And so we're going to flash up a graphic for you, which will be at the heart of what we will get into during this segment. The good is obvious at the very beginning. It starts with Malik Willis. Watson, I was surprised when they made the decision to start him, but it tells me that they had seen more in training camp from this kid than they had let on.
I think you're absolutely right. When I was surprised yesterday when we heard he was going to start, and then immediately I started saying, why are you doing this? And the only thing I could come up with is they think he's going to be a good player. I saw it last night immediately. It's just that now there's a lot we can talk about with it that wasn't good that he did, but the pure strength and athleticism, leg strength, arm strength, athleticism, competitiveness. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be Steve McNair, the young man I recruited out of high school to Mississippi State, but I saw Steve McNair-like talents, George, last night.
So, Watson, there's been no doubt about his athletic ability. That was a given all along. Give me some things you saw where you said, he may be a little ahead of where we thought he was on some of the other stuff.
Nothing that I'd say he was ahead. What I saw was the athletic talent. They ran a naked where he fakes one way and he boots out the other, and there's a guy right in his face, and he leans down and throws a sidearm pass underneath the guy. Those aren't everybody can't do that. You saw his arm strength where he faked one way and rolled the other and stopped him through a corner route, deep corner route back across the field to McNair. And that showed just pure old arm strength that he has. So I wouldn't say I saw anything where I thought he was ahead, but I saw even more athleticism because when it shows on the pro level, I saw it at Liberty, but you just, it's also not playing top caliber competition every weekend. But I saw it last night on the pro level. I saw it compared to Woodside. And there's Woodside to me is he can do what's given to him. He'll take what's given to him. He's going to be consistent. But talent compared to those two, daylight and dark in difference.
Let's look at a little bit of what he did last night with some of the plays that really were remarkable. The one
checks into the backfield.
That I had not seen before was the flip against his body. Now here's the running ability, which we all knew that he had.
This play was supposed to be kind of a sprint pass to the boundary over there. There was some penetration. It looked like he didn't think there was anything on the route. And I mean, he just took over and he did the wheel move and outran everybody. Here's the one I'm talking about, the corner route that he threw. And this ball's right on the money. And if they'd had a little more room, it probably would have been a score. But those are the two plays that two of the three plays I just talked about. Here's the third one where he runs the naked, gets pulled up, and just rips it underneath. It looked like Mahomes on that play, to be very honest. But, George, everybody can't make that play. Very few can make that play. That's what I see. I see those type of things. Now, you could also put up 4 or 5, maybe more than that, drop back passes where he didn't look good. He looked a little confused. Boy, when I see a quarterback's head moving around a little bit and it ain't focused in an area and it's just shuffling like that, I said, uh-oh, he don't see nothing. So he's going to take off here in just a second. And so timing of throws, I thought he was throwing late. He saw open people late, too late to throw it, then he would scramble. Consistent when he scrambled, he's throwing across his body real bad. You got to turn your body toward your target. He kept running sideways to try to throw across his body. He's got a lot of things he's got to improve on, but God gave him the ability, so we ain't got to prove on that. It's there. The Titans are excited, I think, because they know they've got one with talent.
Okay, let's go then to the water cooler talk about this particular subject. We see enough of Malik Willis last night to whet our appetite. Through no fault of his own, Logan Woodside has never been able to show anybody anything in the regular season that was meaningful. And for all of the silly droning on last night in that telecast about how he's earned the players' trust, give me a break. He hasn't played enough anywhere but in August for these players to have any clue what he would do if he gets into a game. I'm amazed at this whole he's earned the trust as though suddenly he's the automatic two. Watson, what I saw last night, you've got to at least talk about Malik Willis as being the number 2.
I think Malik Willis will be 2. I'll just bet that right now. And what I think they mean by that is Logan Woodside's been around. He's been the backup on this team for now, what is this, his 3rd year? I think that's where they're coming from. But what you saw is Logan can go in and finish a game. He'll give you what's there. He can make those throws. His first interception, by the way, was not anywhere close to his fault. It wasn't even close. It looked like an awful throw. But the receiver broke to the inside slightly on a fade route. Well, when that happens, the quarterback's taught, throw it firm on the inside. Well, about the time Logan lets it go, the receiver breaks back to the outside again. That's totally on the receiver, not the quarterback. And so that one was not Logan's fault whatsoever. And so just the talent difference, George, I just can't see them not giving Malik those reps in practice with the scout team and all of that. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. I think they do like Logan, and I think I loved his attitude last night. He's trying to help Malik. I saw some quotes from him this morning about talking to Malik about just play every play and don't let one play get you down. And so this is a classy young man. I just can't let that talent go. I got to get him the reps this year and not wait till next.
Okay, let's put you on the spot. If, God forbid, something happened to Ryan Tannehill in the first half of the season, who goes in to replace him?
Well, whatever they decide going into the season, that's what I think. If they decide it's Logan, it'll be Logan. Because once you get out of these preseason and out of camp, those quarterback reps are going to go down for 2 and 3. One's going to get most of them. The second usually gets the reps on the scout team going against their defense, showing them the opposing team's plays. So there's no way all 3 of them are going to get anywhere. 2 and 3 are not going to get the same amount of reps. And 2 don't even get close to 1 in the reps. So I think whatever they decide going into the season and Ryan gets hurt, that's who they'll go with. So I'm anxious to see. I just think it's going to be Malik.
Okay, people want to hear this from you. They know you know quarterback play unlike virtually anybody in this market. How high is Malik Willis's upside?
From what I saw last night, there's not anything he can't do. The one thing that I'd want to see a whole lot more consistent is his drop back passing game. But why can't it become good? He's got the arm strength. He's got the size. He's got the unbelievable legs. He made so many plays just with his legs alone last night. George, that's hard to – you don't develop that. You just don't develop it. You've got to have God-given talent to make those plays with your legs like that. One of Ryan Tannehill's pluses has been his legs for the Titans. He's made a lot of plays with his legs. So I don't see this kid a waste. I think they hit a really good third rounder right here, man. And I bet you there's some other people looking saying, oh, geez, why did we let him go by and not take him? You remember Steve. Steve came out green as a gourd and had a lot to learn, but you saw it early. You said, uh-oh, this kid's got it. And the Titans went with him pretty quick. They didn't wait around.
They did not play him for all intents and purposes for 2 years and let him watch. And clearly he learned a bunch.
Yeah, but he was the backup getting reps through that time. And I just don't think they're going to let Malik be the third and lose all those reps through this football season. I just don't think they'll do it.
Let's go back to the graphic of the good and the bad. Give me a thought or two about Rashad Weaver because he caught your eye last night.
I saw what I saw early last year, and he tore his knee up and didn't get to play. He came right back again last night. I think he and the other kid, Anemi or something like that is his name. Both of them were ends last night, but both of them made a lot of plays. I just see Rashad Weaver, a tall, long, quick defensive end. He is most definitely going to be in the mix and play quite a few reps as a backup, in my opinion, this year. And I hope he stays healthy and gets to prove it.
I caught Chestnut's run, which was in the first half, a long run against the Ravens defense. You told me later you liked all of the running backs.
I think the running back course, the two guys that played the most, I think I liked Haskins even better myself, but I like them both. Now, they can't keep them both, not in my opinion, because what's the young man from Tulane, the smaller kid that didn't play last night? Dadgum, I can't. But you know who I'm talking about. He's going to make the roster because he's the third down guy. And but Haskins, to me, looked really good from Michigan and made a nice catch on an underneath pass and took it for about 20 more. I like him. He reminds me of Derek Henry. He reminds me of Derek, not near the size, but same style of back. So I don't think we've got any issue at running back whatsoever.
Are we there?
George, we are not hearing you right now. Not sure why. Try reconnecting that mic.
Oh, this will be
there we go.
fascinating.
We got you, George.
Watching me try to do something technical. That is hilarious.
I might hang around longer to watch that.
But, hey, I had the magic touch. So let's go to the bad real quickly. And the turnover bugaboo is obvious. It's about 2.5 too many.
No, Mike Vrabel's style, George, you're not winning with 3 turnovers. They are conservative, eat the clock, shorten the game. You can't turn it over in 3 of your possessions when you have fewer possessions in a Titans football game than you do a Chiefs football game. And so you got to play by the book better. When you've got less possessions and less plays, you got to play by the book, and you got to outplay your opponent. We got no shot to win. We won't win half our games with 3 turnovers a game.
Time of possession, which the Titans will hope will be a strength the way they want to play. was 60-40 Baltimore last night. 36 minutes compared to a little more than 24 for the Titans, at least for last night.
Where is that? You know where that came from? Look at this. Look at the stat right above it. You lost 3 series of plays when you turned the ball over. So right there's a lot of it. But yes, there are too many 3-and-outs also. The turnovers are part of the number of plays down, but also too many 3-and-outs. We still got to run the football a lot better than we did last night. Now, we didn't have any of the starting offensive line in there, and we didn't have Derrick Henry in there. We didn't have our new tight end in there. So, you know, I mean, there's not much to say about it last night because those guys are not even going to be the ones playing on Sundays. But we've got to run the ball and have plays come off of those runs a lot better than happened last night, George.
You felt like Baltimore had better backups in the second half.
I thought they were deeper as it got into the game. I don't know how much that matters because about half of the ones that played last night won't be on the roster, maybe more than half. But I did think Baltimore, the further it went, their talent level looked a little better than ours, and I really think that's a point that really don't matter because on both teams last night, most of the time, especially in the second half, most of those guys aren't going to be playing.
It's preseason.
Got to have fun with it, though.
Oh, absolutely, and we did.
But it is amazing how you can even look at a preseason game and tie it to the philosophy of the Titans and know we know what they want to do, and we know when this isn't good, they're not good. And some of that showed last night.
See you Monday. Go while you're napping. If you want to get a good rest, turn the show on.
Oh, that would just keep me up because I'd be waiting to see you have to fix something, and that would be.
Hey,
I would get so excited watching you fiddling around with something on the TV when you know you can't fix it whatsoever. And you're just pulling every cord up there known to man. Let's shake this one. Let's shake this one. I mean, geez, what a technician, man.
2 words for you. Rest well.
That's so bad.
See you Monday.
See you.
Okay, after the break, we will hear from Titans coach Mike Vrabel. He held his press conference earlier today. We'll let you hear about 10 minutes of that when we come back. This is Main Street Media Television.
At WellSkin Dermatology and Aesthetics, we pride ourselves in providing access, innovation, and a patient experience second to none. Access to care and treatment when you need it. Innovation with medical-led cosmetics and various on-site technologies for full-service treatments with a customer experience that is calming, casual, and effective. Independently owned, providing medical, surgical, pediatric, and cosmetic dermatology and more. Visit wellskinmd.com to schedule your appointment today. WellSkin Dermatology and Aesthetics. Access to healthier skin. It's your last chance to get a spring tune-up for summer. Complete Service Heat and Air can clean your coils, check out your motor, and make sure you have cold air on that first hot day of summer. Complete Service Heat and Air is located in White Bluff, Tennessee. We do service and repair on heating and air the right way. 24/7 service. Call us at 615-797-3997. That's 615-797-3997. Serving Cheatham, Davidson, Dixon, Hickman, Humphreys, Montgomery, and Williamson counties. Have you heard about the high levels of radon in Middle Tennessee? Radon gas is the second leading cause of lung cancer, second only to smoking, and has no color, no taste, and no smell. The only way to know if you have radon is to test for it. Duret Radon Mitigation offers testing for small and large-scale residential and commercial properties, plus mitigation services. Visit DuretRadonMitigation.com to request testing or get a free estimate for mitigation. That's DuretRadonMitigation.com.
I think journalism is like politics. It's all local, and I think Main Street media has really hit on something that I've been preaching for 50 years. And keep the news local, right? Local stories for local readers, and that's what I like about Main Street media. I finally found somebody who agrees with me philosophically about concentrate on local subjects, local topics, and you'll bring your readers in.
So, following last night's game in Baltimore, the Titans arrived back in Nashville around 2 o'clock this morning. And by noon, head coach Mike Vrabel was doing the exact same thing that the rest of the city was doing, talking about Malik Willis.
Yeah, these are great opportunities. These are great opportunities. We said that before we went down to Baltimore. We knew they were going to give us, multiple looks and pressures. And there was, I think it was about as many as we, saw on the sideline. And just, there's a fine line between, standing in there and climbing the pocket and, using some of those drills that they're working every single day and being able to progress through. And then there's times where we're going to want them to go and be an athlete. And so there's some things we have to work on with our certainly the timing and what he's seeing when those throws depend on it. And then there's other times that, I thought he really made some nice plays down the field and kept his eyes down the field.
Is it a matter of actually seeing it or seeing it and believing it, or what is kind of the hiccup that you're seeing?
Well, I think it's just the execution and where his eyes are and his progression. Being able to get off of a route when it doesn't look good and being able to progress through. And again, this is all happening pretty quick and much quicker with more consequences in the game than what it's been in practice. It's live, and they're coming to get the quarterback when we drop back to throw it, and obviously. We have to help them out in progression and in protection, but there were some times where things looked really good, and there were some times where we can go out and practice and clean things up.
The organization, the huddle timing, some of the other stuff.
Yeah, we didn't have we didn't have any issues. I think I thought he did well there. I thought he was coachable. I thought he came over and understood what we were trying to get done. The feedback that I've gotten from the coaches, from Todd and Pat, were positive. Thanks, guys.
So with Willis, as far as like the athletic side of him, is it tough to? Because I know you want that playmaker, make it 11-on-11 football, but is it tough to kind of balance that with wanting him to make plays from the pocket and play the quarterback?
Tough in what stamp? I don't know what tough. Tough on me or tough on who?
For you as a coach.
No, not tough. We've talked. We went in there and talked, and anybody that shows up here tomorrow with a great attitude and showed a willingness to play with great effort and continue to improve. It's coaching. It's not tough. It's just showing them and saying, hey, this is there, and if it's not, then progress through or whatever it is for each position. And the guys that, may not have a great attitude or don't want to be coached or, we don't have many guys like that. And so, we'll coach them and fix it and keep working on it. And we're coming up with drills to, get them to climb the pocket when guys are rushing in the edge and, trusting the middle of the pocket and being able to slide. We were just talking about the one where, Brew gave up a little penetration and, being able to slide and then climb the pocket and find Mason. And so I don't know if he's, had a play like that in practice, but it's something that they rep and that they do each day, an individual, to being able to slide, take care of the football, move up in the pocket, and get the ball out. just like on the first play. I mean, we got Racy. We have to hit Racy. I mean, Racy does a fantastic job of getting through the traffic. But then he comes back and he made some plays, and that's what happens.
You talked Logan was maybe anticipating Godwin staying on an inside.
Well, Terry, I mean, we have to get some help from the receiver. We can't release in there, and we have to probably not go there and not try to press and throw the ball there. And then Terry, receivers who were coaching them to go and do whatever they have to do, especially down there in the end zone to break up that pass. So I think there's a lot of people, that have to be better on that particular play. It starts with the decision. If you go over there and you don't like it, then just try to check the ball down. But receiver, we don't want him to release inside, and then we just make a great decision and try to compete and do everything we can to not get that ball intercepted.
You mentioned the pressure with Logan. He mentioned the pressure. I mean, if he's coming into a game for you, he's going to see pressure and have to sort through it and do better than that, no?
Yeah, I mean, we all deal with, the mental side of it, the mental side of whatever our individual situation is. And, competing, everybody's competing for a job. And we all have to process that, and we have to work through that. And one of the strengths that Logan has had has been his command of the offense, his decisions. And I would anticipate that that's going to, improve from what it was last night.
Do you consider backup quarterback something that's still an open competition, depending on how Logan and Malik might perform?
Mm-hmm.
I think the challenge was, I guess, from a numbers standpoint, personnel standpoint, to get your combination on the offensive line, moving guys to different spots, and how you think that group did as a whole.
Well, I mean, we got off to a slow start offensively. A couple 3-and-outs, and with the fumble, and you look at the fumble, much like an interception. I think that Tommy could have helped protect the guy with the ball. I think Nick Petit could have helped protect the guy with the ball, and that, yes, ultimately the guy that has the ball is responsible for taking care of it. But we have to make sure that everybody's seeing this as a group effort, as a team effort. And they all did some good things. And, Brew was able to, I thought his leadership with Ben not there or out there, I thought his leadership was something that was probably, the best thing he did last night. And, Jamarco was in there for a little bit. Dylan was in there, and, Nick did some good things and, some plays that they'd all like to have back.
How much of the line play was simplified last night? Just, hey, block the guy in front of you so that you can evaluate them that way.
Well, I mean, it's never just block the guy in front of you. There's always has to be some sort of scheme and some communication, whether they're pressuring and, we're going, whatever way we're working. I mean, once it shakes out, I guess a couple seconds into the play and you've identified who you have, then it's blocking them. But I think part of the evaluation process is being able to sort through all the different looks and the calls that we have to make. The pressure that we're getting. So I think that's also part of the evaluation is how they're able to handle that as it, shakes out or as it changes throughout the course of the play.
Mike played a couple special team snaps. Is that somewhere you consider using him, or is that a way to test him in a different way?
No, I mean, we've always played starters, where they feel like they can help us, on special teams. We know how critical that is. Kevin Byard's been a personal protector for us. Caleb was locked in and really did a nice job. Got the guy into a penalty, forced him to run out of bounds on his own, use the technique that we're talking about, 12-10. Was you taking a nap at 12:10 in the afternoon? It says snooze.
No, that's like you can snooze it, but
snooze. It's time to wake up. We got 8 minutes and 50 seconds. I won't be out here that long. So he was really into it, and he knew to talk to the official. He knew what to do to get that penalty. Again, but there's more to coach there. We have to go and finish. We got to finish blocking the guy. It's only a 5-yard penalty. So if the guy goes down there and tackles the returner for no gain, the 5 yards isn't enough. So it was a good start. He was locked in. He wanted to be out there and wanted to help. Executed the technique. We just have to finish the block.
Okay, so here's one thing I want to throw out there, because I learned this lesson well in the past when wow, I'm talking over Mike there, aren't I?
Hey, we're good now, George.
One thing I learned when I was involved in the Titans preseason games on television, the winning and losing, the actual scoreboard, virtually never means anything in the preseason. Now, if you go out and stink up the joint and lose 40-6, maybe so. But if you're looking for a lot of sorrow in the locker room after one of these preseason deals, think again. It doesn't happen. It's much more about individual play in the preseason, who looks good, who doesn't look good, and then how do you grade the film when it's all over. I can't stress that enough, that is not an issue. And I think you could tell it from Vrabel as you watched him. He didn't look the least bit bothered by the fact that they lost. The winning and the losing, even though it's of utmost importance in the regular season, does not mean a thing in preseason. We'll go to the break and then stat of the day. And here's the scary part. It is me, myself, and I in a solo. I would get Billy to help, but he's cheated. He already knows the answer. This is Main Street Media Television.
Serving Williamson and surrounding counties, Bone and Joint Institute of Tennessee offers comprehensive orthopedic care with 16 subspecialized physicians. Our practice provides high-tech care with a hometown touch. We offer physician clinics, physical and occupational therapy, advanced imaging, and surgical services, including interventional procedures. Call us at 615-791-2630. We're Bone and Joint Institute of Tennessee. High-tech care with a hometown touch.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor-trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor-trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor-trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
I've done sports, I've been a photographer, I've been an editor, I've been a producer, I've been a reporter, I've been an anchor. I mean, I've done every job you could possibly imagine this. And so sports was a way to have fun and be different. But then I realized community is where it's at, and community and local and doing places and going, seeing people. And, sports, you go to a stadium, everybody celebrates and they go their different ways. But community-wise, there's so much going on.
Hey everyone, I'm John English. This is Keith Wallace, and we would like to welcome you to John English Antique Sports and Cards in Shelbyville, Tennessee.
We specialize in graded and ungraded sports and non-sports cards, vintage wax boxes, and unopened cases. We have a large selection of PSA graded cards. We also specialize in old sports collectibles, baseball, football, basketball, golf, and tennis. You can find it all at John English Antique Sports and Cards.
We are happy to be associated with Nashville's greatest sports antique, George Plaster.
At Sumner Funeral and Cremation, our mission is to serve families as our own, celebrate the life of their loved one, and help begin the healing process.
My whole family, including my wife and my mom and siblings, were very happy with the treatment that we received. I would highly recommend Sumner Funeral and Cremation.
We offer funeral, burial, cremations, and pre-planning services.
Sumner Funeral and Cremation. Traditional, affordable, dignified. SumnerFuneral.com.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel.
urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Okay, a couple of things as we welcome all of you back. Sometimes you got to think on the fly in this business. The opportunity to get Danny Evans on today at 5:30 from the site of last night's Field of Dreams game up in Iowa, couldn't pass that up. You all are going to see in the background some of that setting, which is nothing short of incredible. It really is.
George, he said, do you want me by phone or virtual? If it's virtual, we could have Dyersville, Iowa, with a Field of Dreams in the background.
No, let's do it. Let's do it.
Pretty easy answer.
Yeah, no kidding. No brainer. So with that in mind, after we get through humiliating me with stat of the day, and I say that, I've been on a roll. I've kind of gotten two in a row.
What are you talking about, George?
Yeah, the odds are not good.
Odds are stacked against you.
The odds are, they're not good. So here's what I'm thinking. When we finish with the humiliation, then we will go straight to a new feature. This is what I think. I've got a couple, three, this is what I thinks.
One take George.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Is that too cheesy?
You may have to help me. It is cheesy. Then we'll take our first commercial break of the 5 o'clock hour. I know you're riveted to this info. Then we will open up the phones about 5:05 and run until about 5:25. So I don't know if we can put the phone number up in a minute or two, but there it is.
There it is.
Just like that, like clockwork. I want you to go ahead at about 5:05 and jump in on the lines. And as I have said before, if you don't call us,
we may call you.
Darn right. You don't want that. So jump in on those lines and we'll kind of see where we go from there. Okay. To the humiliation.
It is time for Stat of the Day, presented by John English Vintage Sports and Cards. They specialize in antique and historical sports equipment, games, advertising, and other sport-related items. You can visit John English Sports and Cards in Shelbyville, Tennessee, open Tuesdays through Fridays from noon to 5 o'clock and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5. Visit them online at johnenglishgradedcards.com. We move on to the question. And George, the baseball side should ring a bell. Football might be a little bit tougher, but who is the only person in both the Football and Baseball Hall of Fame? Didn't even know there was someone in both.
Yeah, wait a minute. This is really ambiguous.
Or is this a piece of cake?
No, hold on a second. The Football Hall of Fame, are we talking NFL Hall of Fame? Are we talking College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta? What are we talking about?
I don't have proof of that, George, but my guess is that this is the NFL Hall of Fame.
You know the answer, don't you?
I do.
Okay.
I know the answer. I don't know the person. So
well, that eliminates. Here's one thought that I had. Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson was a darn good football player at UCLA.
That would probably be College Hall of Fame, though, right?
Yes, it would. That absolutely would.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and tell you. It's got to be the Pro Football Hall of Fame because it's not Jackie Robinson.
No, we do not hit that thing. You tell that thing to go stuff it. Go ahead and play it again. It gave you a big thrill. Yeah, same to you. This doesn't make for good TV. It can be humiliating. There are a couple of thoughts running through my mind, but unfortunately, they're on the basketball side. Dave DeBusschere played both basketball and baseball, didn't get in the Hall of Fame in either one. Ron Reed, a former Braves pitcher, was also a pro basketball player.
The pictures of the guy are black and white, if that helps.
Oh, good Lord. So we got one of these Wee Willie Keeler things. Are you kidding me? Go ahead, put up the answer.
I don't even know if you know this, but Cal Hubbard.
Oh, yeah. We all knew old Cal.
You know him?
Well, I mean, I've heard of him. No relation to former Brave second baseman Glenn Hubbard.
No, doubt it.
Yeah. So, you know what? For the question, hit that thing again. Why has it not got more airtime to it?
I don't know. I need to make it longer.
I think you got to do better than that. I mean, if that's your attempt at a sound effect, I would give that about a 2.5 out of 10.
You should be happy about that. You're not getting.
No, I'd rather look, if we're gonna rip me, let's do it right. Let's get the whole deal out there.
The whole shebang.
So the clock over there says 5 o'clock.
Yes, it does.
Which means we are now officially into the 5 o'clock hour, the final hour of the week, to which I say, thank God. Okay. These are things that I believe.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Number one will involve Logan Woodside. Do we have a picture of young Logan?
Pulling it up now, George.
Uh-huh. Okay. Here's what went on late in the telecast last night, and this is a real pet peeve of mine. First of all, let me make clear, Corey Curtis should be the play-by-play announcer on Titans preseason. Dan Helling, I was a little disappointed last night at a route that he tried to go very late in the telecast, where he gave us this song and dance about how Logan Woodside has earned the trust of all of his teammates. Well, first of all, whoop-de-doo. Secondly, please, he hadn't played in anything meaningful, and that's not Logan Woodside's fault. The bottom line is, because of Ryan Tannehill's durability, Logan Woodside really has never seen the light of day in anything that matters when it comes to Titans football. So if Dan Helly wants to feed us all that pablum, or as I call it, Titan happy talk, about how this August play of Logan Woodside's has earned his teammates' trust, please earn it on the field from September to December. Nothing against Logan Woodside. This is not his fault. But if you want to talk about a backup that earned his teammates' trust, Neil O'Donnell.
Back in the day.
How about that one?
That's some real trust right there.
You like that one?
And I mean, honestly, I like it, George, but I mean, you look at Malik Willis after last night. Now, I'm not saying he blew the doors off the Ravens or anything, but if that felt like a little bit more trust and confidence and reliability in him than the 2 interceptions that Logan Woodside threw.
Well, Watson talked about one of them in the 4 o'clock hour not being Logan Woodside's fault. Look, I'm not down on him, even though it sounds like I might be. I'm a little down on Dan Helly that he doesn't think this fan base is smart enough to see through that load of crap that he put out there. I'm sorry. Players earn teammates' trust by performing in games that matter. August football is not where you earn players' trust. That's my opinion.
I'm with you, George. I 100% agree. And I mean, Woodside hasn't. I don't think he's proven that trust yet.
Okay, you want number 2?
Let's go to number 2.
Okay. Do you have a picture for number 2?
I do. Where are you going?
Well, that would be baseball's all-time hit leader, Pete Edward Rose. When I first got into sports talk radio in 1989, this guy was the big issue. If you wanted to go play golf all day and do absolutely nothing to prepare for a show, all you had to do is walk into the studio and say, let's talk about Pete Rose. What should Commissioner Bart Giamatti do about him? Okay, we all know what ended up happening. Lifetime ban. That's been more than 30 years now. And for a long period of time, I have been a backer of Pete Rose getting into the hall and getting that lifetime ban over with. Until last weekend. And man, I have changed my tune. His behavior in Philadelphia was really pretty crude. A lot of you have read a lot of the excerpts where he refers to a woman reporter from the Philadelphia Inquirer as babe, and then dresses down another reporter who had the audacity to ask a question about something that happened before the reporter was born. Pete Rose does not have any business being in baseball. And I can't believe I'm saying that, because for years, I was one of his biggest backers to get back into the game and then get in the hall. No longer. How about that?
Yeah, George, I was surprised. I mean,
at my take or Pete Rose?
Pete Rose. I expected a little bit more class from one of the baseball legends.
He has no class.
And I didn't realize that, but I mean, there's videos on Twitter of some of the quotes he said, and I was pretty surprised from what I heard.
Yeah, it wasn't good. Okay, you want number 3?
Let's go to number 3.
How have I done so far?
Pretty good, George.
You think so?
I like it.
Okay, so here's old John Calipari. Calipari and his team are in the Bahamas. And I don't know if he simply thought that because he was talking to a writer in the Bahamas and that it wouldn't get back to the United States, but this is 2022. And so he went on this ridiculous rant about a practice facility. Now, I'm not saying that the University of Kentucky doesn't need to build him a new practice facility, because in truth, they had some sort of a leak recently when they were trying to practice in there, and somebody could have gotten hurt. So he went on this big rant yesterday, and part of the rant ended up ripping into University of Kentucky football and being very condescending toward Mark Stoops and that program. Well, I got news for you. What Stoops has done is unbelievable, because this is not a one-shot deal at Kentucky, what Stoops has done. This is now 4, 5, 6 years in a row of really respectable football. And growing up, Kentucky football was basically no better than Vandy. It was the dregs of society in the Southeastern Conference. Stoops, when hearing about this, was pissed, and I don't blame him. And this is what he fired back with on Twitter. Basketball school, ? I thought we competed in the SEC. Hashtag, boy, am I not getting really into social media?
How about
here?
this?
Yeah, hashtag. 4 straight postseason wins.
And you can see there in the quote from the tweet from Kyle Tucker, who covers Kentucky, from Coach Cal, this is a basketball school. Alabama is a football school.
And I've got no problem with that part of it.
Yeah, he says, so is Georgia. No disrespect to our football team. I hope they win 10 games and go to bowls, but this is a basketball school.
Okay, I don't have that much trouble with the basketball school part. That is the truth. But I thought it was very condescending toward Kentucky football. Stoops deserves better. Now he's pissed off. And now you've got an athletic director in Mitch Barnhart who may have a little patching up to do, maybe to get those two in a room and to have Stoops basically tell Calipari, take your basketball and shove it.
Yeah, from my perspective, George, it felt like, I mean, we all know how last season ended for Kentucky basketball. They haven't been on a hot streak, to say, the past couple years. I'm not saying they're going downhill, but you know, they haven't been trending up. So I think a lot of this is a lot of the pressure and heat that Calipari might be feeling from a lot of the outside noise around that program. And their fans, there's a little bit of discontent right now. and then he looks over at that football program and what they've been able to do the last 4 years, I think there might be a little bit of jealousy there.
A little red butt.
A little bit.
Okay, I'll take it one step further. I think he has thought all along that anytime he belches, anytime he says anything, the Commonwealth is to jump. If he says it so, by God, he's the king.
Mm-hmm. And Stoops, I'm with you. He deserves a lot better.
Oh,
he
listen,
deserves so much better.
I
than
would
that.
love to be a fly on the wall when they get back. Where is it? The Bahamas?
Yep.
After they get back from the Bahamas, I would love to be a fly on the wall the first time Stoops and Calipari end up seeing each other. Now, it could be that Stoops takes the high road and all is forgiven. Or it could be that Mitch Barnhart puts out the order that says there will not be any more public bickering. There's also the possibility that Stoops tells Barnhart to take his edict and shove it.
Yeah, I'd love to be covering Kentucky.
Oh,
I'd
God.
love to be covering Kentucky right now, just being a reporter. And I couldn't wait to ask Mark Stoops about this.
3 hours to the north, I promise you, on Kentucky sports radio, this is the topic.
Just to hear what Stoops
They're
would
not
say
as
about-
interested in Logan Woodside and Malik Willis.
No, they're not. But just to hear him say, was that a joke, coach? Or, are you real on that?
Yeah.
Who tweeted that? Did you tweet
Yeah.
that? Did you tell somebody to tweet it? There's a lot of heat right now in Lexington.
Now, I'll say this. I think Calipari gets the practice facility. This museum that he's talking about is part of it. I don't doubt that he gets it, but he may have left in his wake some really hurt feelings because what he said was pretty condescending toward a great football coach.
And this reminds me a lot of Nick Saban versus Jimbo Fisher.
It does.
But those are from two different schools. This is the same school. So that's what makes
Right.
it kind of funny.
Internal.
Yeah, I mean, this is internal drama here that Calipari wants his practice facility. Saban, I don't know if he wants more money from donors. I'm sure he does. That's where we think he was pointing to. But it seems like a plea for money. That's what this feels like.
Well, the other thing he throws out there, and he's probably right about this, he can get all of his former players who are now in the NBA and probably build the Pentagon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure those guys have a few pocket change to give over to the Kentucky program.
Okay, so those are three things that I believe. Now I want you all to jump on the phones, pick out a topic that is on your mind, and let's yap about it. Let's throw that phone number out again, shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay. The phone number, there it is. Area code 615, you expected that. 588-2998. Again, 588-2998. I'm ready to talk a little sports on a Friday afternoon. We're looking for red-blooded Americans who have opinions. This is Main Street Media Television.
I highly recommend Sumner Funeral and Cremation because of their caring nature and attentiveness to detail.
Pre-planning your funeral now will bring you peace of mind and less stress to your loved ones. When the chaos of losing you happens, your family can honor and celebrate your life, knowing things are happening just as you wanted them to. Pre-planning determines the details of your funeral, cemetery services, and can be less expensive. We are honored to serve you and are always here for you in your time of need.
Sumner Funeral and Cremation. Traditional, affordable, dignified. SumnerFuneral.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
Since 1865, the First Baptist Church of Gallatin on Winchester Street has served its community by catering to the least, the last, and the lost, providing a church of welcome used by God to save the lost, transform the saved, and impact its community. As a proud multi-ethnic congregation, Pastor Derek Jackson personally welcomes you to join them in fellowship Sunday mornings at 8 in person or at 1045 in person or online at firstbaptistgallatin.org. First Baptist Gallatin on Winchester Street, serving with open arms as a true church of welcome.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
I think journalism is like politics. It's all local, and I think Main Street Media has really hit on something that I've been preaching for 50 years. And keep the news local, right? Local stories for local readers, and that's what I like about Main Street Media. I finally found somebody who agrees with me philosophically about concentrate on local subjects, local topics, and you'll bring your readers in.
Serving Williamson and surrounding counties, Bone and Joint Institute of Tennessee offers comprehensive orthopedic care with 16 subspecialized physicians. Our practice provides high-tech care with a hometown touch. We offer physician clinics, physical and occupational therapy, advanced imaging, and surgical services, including interventional procedures. Call us at 615-791-2630. We're Bone and Joint Institute of Tennessee. High-tech care with a hometown touch.
We are back. In about 12 minutes, we're going up to Iowa and learn a little bit more about last night's Field of Dreams game. Danny Evans, who helped put it together for the folks who run the Field of Dreams and for Major League Baseball, will join us, and you'll get to see some of the sights of what that place really looks like. Now, you see the phone lines that are open. We're going to take a couple of phone calls. There are the numbers. There's room for you as well at 588-2998. Let's go. Jeff in Murfreesboro. Jeff, welcome. Doing good.
I just wanted to, I was going to talk about some other stuff, but I'm going to talk a little bit about this Stoops and Calipari thing. First of all, I met a guy last night I was at an event last night, and he told me that he was at the St. Peter's State game last March in the tournament. And of course, he told me what went on and such and such. The biggest thing about the fan base right now at the University of Kentucky is the fact that the basketball team this last March lost in the first round of the tournament. Now, it's not the first time they've lost, it ain't the last time. In 1982, 40 years ago, they lost to my alma mater, 50-44, in the Memorial Gym in Nashville, Tennessee. The school's director, athletic director of Rutherford County Schools was on that ball club. Okay, number one. Okay, that's the biggest rift with the fan base right now, is that. Okay, the number one thing, football, yes, great. Stoops, we all know what job he's done. Please don't repeat it. We're all aware of it. We all know that he's got a chance to surpass Barrett Bryant and be the all-time winningest coach at the University of Kentucky. And like he said at media days, his mom will be proud of it because he will be an all-time winning coach at a Power 5 university. And his brother, Bob Stoops, is one as well. So we all are aware of it. So and we know it was a success that they've had the last 4 years. And believe me, there is not no one in this whole entire state of Tennessee that is proud of it more than I am. And every one of their sports do well. Their volleyball team a couple years ago won the national championship, first SEC team to do it. Rifle is one of about 2 or 3 national championships, has got 2 gold medalists in the last Olympics. Sidney McLaughlin, all these track people, I can go down the list, and I don't even want to get into it. It's not enough time to do it. That's the biggest rift with the fan base right now. If they had won that game and won a couple games in the tournament, it'd be okay. Now, if they come back this season, and if they have a good season, and they make a run in the tournament, and get to the, what's another guy said yesterday, they got to the Final Four, which Kentucky, that's always the pressure is Final Four championships. If they do that, if they get to a regional final or a Final Four, which I'm hoping they'll do, then all this stuff will shut up. There won't be one thing said. Neither one of them should have said anything, simply, as far as that's concerned. Stoops needs to, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm the biggest Kentucky fan there is, he needs to worry about football and the football program. And Calipari needs to worry about basketball and the basketball program. And let it be done at that. Mitch Barnhart is not have to get nobody in a room and fool around and horse around and do all this business. Those 2 men can take care of it themselves. There are professional men that coach college sports. They know what they're doing. And number 2 thing, the Field of Dreams, I watched it last night. A friend of mine called me up and told me, who is playing this baseball game? Those uniforms are the ugliest things I've ever seen in my life. The Cubs wear a thing on Friday afternoons that I want to put in a fire and burn every blessed one of them, Wrigleyville. I hate it. I hate the uniforms. If I was Manfred, we are not ever going to play in no cornfield. If I'm the Cubs ownership, I'm going to tell Manfred I'm not going to a stupid cornfield and play a baseball game. It's simple as that. We're going to stop it. We're not going to play in that thing. Let's always build it and you will come mess. It's garbage. Okay? So that's my opinion for the day. And Stoops and Calipari are professional men. They're going to take care of it. And Stoops is going to take care of his business this fall. And I'm hoping to God that Calipari does and Gabriel gets off his back like you and the rest of the state and the SEC media and the rest of national media, Vital and the rest of them. And hopefully, I hope he wins a national championship. So when he wins it in March, hope he takes that trophy and tells all the national media and every media in this American country to shove it. Because I've got another championship. Because he's already in the Hall of Fame. His legacy is secure. There's no question about it. So, George, you have a good weekend. And, Derek, you don't know what's going on either. Have a good day.
Whoa. Coming in hot.
Oh, it's not the first time. Let me say this, Billy. I don't doubt that they will take care of it internally. I think a lot of it depends on Stoops' attitude once the basketball team gets back in. I think he can completely diffuse it. But the fact of it is he put that out there and he was pissed.
Yeah, the fact that it came from Twitter, George, and this wasn't, he didn't say this in an interview, makes me think there's a little bit of a joking manner, a little bit.
Didn't look like it to me.
But still, the way he said it in the tweet, that did feel like there was a little bit of sincerity there.
Let's go Dan on line 2. Dan is up in Murfreesboro. Dan, welcome. Where is Dan? Dan is up in the stratosphere somewhere.
Cannot hear Dan.
What happened to Dan?
Not sure what happened to Dan.
Did he get lost?
Might have gotten lost. He's
up in
calling
a cloud somewhere?
He's calling from Nashville, though.
Not Murfreesboro.
Not Murfreesboro.
Okay. So I guess that's about it.
But on the screen, it does say he wanted to talk about John Calipari regarding the NBA. The potential there.
I don't think he's going back to the NBA, but I guess stranger things have happened. Look, he's had a long run at Kentucky. I would assume that Kentucky is where he ends it and where he retires. But I also don't doubt that some team saying, maybe there's friction. Let's throw out a lot of money like they used to do with Pitino. I don't think so, but crazier things have happened.
Yeah, but I mean, if he has a couple more years like last season, not saying last season was any sort of train wreck, but if they stay on this little downward trend, especially after last season and some of the discontent that's going on, I know he's a legend in his own right, and he's done great things at Kentucky, but he's been there a while. And
he has won a national title.
Yes, one.
And that team was incredible.
They were, and they've made runs. But there is a little bit of discontent with some of the runs they have made, and they haven't won another, and that's kind of where they're at with the program.
There is a pressure applied by that fan base that no other school in America deals with in basketball, period.
It's crazy.
Okay, we'll go to the break, and then we will go up to Iowa for, in spite of what Jeff had to say, most of you out there really have enjoyed this Field of Dreams stuff. Game number 2 happened last night. I'll admit I didn't get to see a lot of it, but my buddy Danny Evans is the driving force behind it. He will join us after the break. This is Main Street Media Television.
Have you heard about the high levels of radon in Middle Tennessee? Radon gas is the second leading cause of lung cancer, second only to smoking, and has no color, no taste, and no smell. The only way to know if you have radon is to test for it. Duret Radon Mitigation offers testing for small and large-scale residential and commercial properties, plus mitigation services. Visit DuretRadonMitigation.com to request testing or get a free estimate for mitigation. That's DuretRadonMitigation.com. At WellSkin Dermatology and Aesthetics, we pride ourselves in providing access, innovation, and a patient experience second to none. Access to care and treatment when you need it. Innovation with medical-led cosmetics and various on-site technologies for full-service treatments with a customer experience that is calming, casual, and effective. Independently owned, providing medical, surgical, pediatric, and cosmetic dermatology and more. Visit WellSkinMD.com to schedule your appointment today. WellSkin Dermatology and Aesthetics. Access to healthier skin. Since 1865, the First Baptist Church of Gallatin on Winchester Street has served its community by catering to the least, the last, and the lost, providing a church of welcome used by God to save the lost, transform the saved, and impact its community. As a proud multi-ethnic congregation, Pastor Derek Jackson personally welcomes you to join them in fellowship Sunday mornings at 8 in person or at 10:45 in person or online at firstbaptistgallatin.org. First Baptist Gallatin on Winchester Street, serving with open arms as a true church of welcome.
At Sumner Funeral and Cremation, our mission is to serve families as our own, celebrate the life of their loved one, and help begin the healing process.
My whole family, including my wife and my mom and siblings, were very happy with the treatment that we received. I would highly recommend Sumner Funeral and Cremation.
We offer funeral, burial, cremations, and pre-planning services.
Sumner Funeral and Cremation. Traditional, affordable, dignified. SumnerFuneral.com.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
It's your last chance to get a spring tune-up for summer. Complete Service Heat and Air can clean your coils, check out your motor, and make sure you have cold air on that first hot day of summer. Complete Service Heat and Air is located in White Bluff, Tennessee. We do service and repair on heating and air the right way. 24/7 service. Call us at 615-797-3997. That's 615-797-3997. Serving Cheatham, Davidson, Dixon, Hickman, Humphreys, Montgomery, and Williamson counties.
You'll be thrilled to know that in NFL preseason football, Detroit, the Lions, they've scored 7-0 over the Falcons.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Don't hear that too often.
No, it's early, late first quarter.
It's preseason.
It certainly is. I'm sure the people in Detroit are thrilled. God, if any fan base deserves better, man, it's the Lions.
No doubt, George. I mean, they've been through their fair share.
In fact, they deserve Brian Stewart, who is joining us from his own office. Okay, where the Braves hat's back there.
Yep.
Titans, good logo, and a weekend coming. Tell me what you want people to hear.
Well, I want to hear, you were talking about the Detroit Lions. I was watching, I don't know if you were able to catch it or not, but the Hard Knocks show. Did you get to see the episode?
No, tell me about it.
So I thought it was one of the best I've seen in a while. And I love Hard Knocks. I think it's a great show to get behind the scenes, kind of see how they do in between games and practices and all that. But the two coaches, I can't remember the guy's name that was the coach. He used to play for Philly as a defensive back, and then Deuce Staley is their running backs coach.
Yeah.
So these two coaches are best friends, and they literally hate each other whenever it comes time for practice, and they just go back and forth with each other. And I'm telling you, that is TV gold right there.
Great for TV.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I mean, they were giving each other all kinds of crap about it the other day, and it made for a really good show for sure.
I love it. Okay, so what do you want people to know in the housing market this weekend?
I want them to know, first and foremost, that One Stop is here to help you as far as finding that home. We can get the showing set up. We can go and talk to for sale by owners. Literally, we are at your command. Whenever somebody tells you that they're a realtor, that is what their job is ultimately, is to work for you as the client. So if the client wants us to go out and find that home for them, or set up showings for them on a listing, get pictures made, look, that's what we do. We are literally at your beck and call, within the legal limits of the law. Now, let me clarify that there are some boundaries there, as with anything. But long story short, we want to be there to help you. There's some great homes and great deals on the market right now. Literally today, I just closed, and I wanted to give a shout out to a great organization here in Sumner County. We just closed on some land for them today. It's called Grace Place Ministry in Sumner County. And it is a fantastic organization that literally gives back to the women that are battered and abused, or in have drug situations, anything like that. They are getting a second chance, and this ministry is what is affording them that, by giving them housing and programs to get them clean and to get them back as an active member of society. So I'm very excited about them being able to build their main campus location here in Hendersonville.
That's awesome. So give people a little bit of how they can reach you, whether it's this weekend or Monday, and get this show on the road.
Yeah, we can. You can always get us on our cell phones. If you look at our website at onestoprealtytn.com, you'll see a list of all 30 agents on there. It has their profile on there. It also has their cell phone number, email. So we're always available via the website. The office is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. 822-0750 is what our office number is. My cell phone is 615-440-7011. And as always, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram. Please give us a like and follow, and we'll be there to help you.
I got one more question.
Yes, sir, George.
Did you see any of the Field of Dreams last night?
I did. And I have to say there was a couple things that I just thoroughly enjoyed. One of them was Harry Carey and the, doing the hologram up there. I mean, I was just talking to an agent of mine just about 20 minutes ago and telling him that there's 3 staples in baseball as far as, just announcers and things like that. And Vince Scully, Bob Uecker, Harry Carey, those are 3 that I think are just phenomenal. And, for the players coming out of the corn last night, walking onto the field, it's just an incredible moment. I mean, I really hope that the Braves get to play out there on the Field of Dreams. I really do.
Yeah, it's apparently going to be a while because with some of the expansion that's going on, Major League Baseball has apparently elected not to play next year. I don't know all the stuff. Hopefully, Danny will be able to get on with us. We don't have him yet, and we're looking forward to bringing him on to talk about what it is he's created over the last 2 years. Brian, have a great weekend. We'll do this again on Monday.
I appreciate it, George. You have a great weekend, and thank you for a great show as always.
Hey, thank you, Brian. Appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir.
Guess what?
What, George?
The Falcons have tied Detroit.
That didn't last long.
No, it didn't. We're in a little bit of a four-corner stall as we await Danny Evans trying to get in here, and I'm hoping we're able to get him in. There's a bunch of different stuff that they have added. They added some sort of a game today, and if we get Danny on, we'll talk about it. He felt like 5:30 was when he was going to be able to get on. Right now, it looks a little shaky on that, but the Harry Carey thing wasn't obvious. I mean, if you think Cubs of the last 30 years, I mean, he's got to be at the top of the list.
Yeah, there had to have been some Cubs fans getting a little teary-eyed, especially some of the older ones, and kind of feeling like he's there. And that's kind of the magic of today's world, the fact that you can throw Harry Carey up there virtually and make it seem real. That was pretty cool.
Jeff brought up the uniforms, and I know where he's going with it. Last Friday, the Cubs wore some god-awful uniforms, and on the shirt area was the word Wrigleyville.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you've probably seen the Colorado Rockies wear this same crap, the green, kind of the forest green. Are we keeping you awake?
Yeah, you're keeping me awake.
Is there a problem over there? Good Lord.
There's not.
You're 23 and you're the one falling asleep.
22.
22. Good Lord, I was 22 once. Anyway, we're stalling around here. I do think that whatever company it is that has sold either Big League Baseball or these teams on some of these uniforms that I have seen, I am with Jeff.
Yeah.
Some of this needs to go.
The White Sox have their, I think they call them the South Side uniforms, where they've got that in the cursive font. So that's another one out there. I don't know if the Braves have their own.
I have not seen one.
But, I mean, the NBA, they're doing that a lot too.
And I don't like it.
It's just, that's today's world. That's how cool can we get?
But too many of these uniforms that you and I grew up knowing are iconic.
Mm-hmm.
They look good. Why do you screw with them?
Who knows? I don't, especially a uniform like the Cubs, and you're screwing around with that. The type of uniform they've got and the identity they've got. I don't know why you would do anything with that.
So for what it's worth, and we are stalling around, we may go to a final break here in a minute and see if Danny is able to be with us. We'll get to Plaster bet of the day and all that kind of stuff. But there is a football game tonight, even though I'm not much into preseason football. Green Bay at San Fran.
Oh, sounds like a good one.
Yeah. And here's a question. Do they play Jimmy Garoppolo?
That's another good question. I mean, he's their fourth string. We talked about it.
Usually, fourth string, my butt.
Usually, you're playing the fourth string.
Hey, come on, he's not fourth string. First of all, he may well be the best quarterback on that roster. Off of what I saw a year ago, now I may be dead wrong. Trey Lance may be everything that he has been reported to be, but what I saw a year ago was a guy that threw behind a lot of receivers, was not very accurate. And what I saw a year ago, Jimmy G was way better.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the experience that seeing that fourth string that felt like a joke. I mean, I don't believe I'm not buying that either.
So let's do this because we sort of had this planned and I have no idea what may be going on up in Iowa. We will take our final break. If Danny is not able to be with us, we'll go Plaster bet of the day, close up shop for the week. If he joins us, that'll be great because we want to hear what went on last night and all the planning that made that event in Iowa so good. This is Main Street Media Television. Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
At WellSkin Dermatology and Aesthetics, we pride ourselves in providing access, innovation, and a patient experience second to none. Access to care and treatment when you need it. Innovation with medical-led cosmetics and various on-site technologies for full-service treatments with a customer experience that is calming, casual, and effective. Independently owned, providing medical, surgical, pediatric, and cosmetic dermatology and more. Visit WellSkinMD.com to schedule your appointment today. WellSkin Dermatology and Aesthetics. Access to healthier skin.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
I think journalism is like politics. It's all local, and I think Main Street Media has really hit on something that I've been preaching for 50 years. And keep the news local, right? Local stories for local readers, and that's what I like about Main Street Media. I finally found somebody who agrees with me philosophically about concentrate on local subjects, local topics, and you'll bring your readers in.
Oh, yeah. It's a big moment on the show. Well, it's a big moment every day when we get to this. But before we review and reveal, Billy has words of wisdom.
Yes, I do. Big moment. The moment is here, George. Since 1975, Bart Durham injury law has aggressively protected the rights of a broad range of victims of car accidents and personal injury in both Tennessee and Kentucky. If you too have seen your life interrupted by an injury on a highway, in a hospital, or at your workplace, or on unsafe property, you should let their attorneys do the work fighting for the full compensation that you need. Learn more about Bart Durham injury law by logging on to bartdurham.com. And George, it's time to review. You were, of course, at 500 before last night. Picked the Tennessee Titans, and they did not get a win for you, so you were not able to get above 500. 11-12 now, so you got to try to get right back to 500 tonight.
You know, I kind of deserve what I got, just to be perfectly honest.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that they say in the betting world, you know, bet with your head, not with your heart. And it may well be when I found out Malik Willis was going to start, I was like, you know what? The Titans plus the 3.5, they may not win, but they've got a really good shot to cover. And in the end, they really were not all that close in the second half. When they were up, I guess it was 10-7. I was feeling pretty good, but that sort of disappeared.
Yeah, second half, the hopes and dreams kind of went to die there.
Yeah, so tonight, Billy, we're going to go much more with our head, not with our heart.
We going with baseball, George?
Oh, yeah.
San Fran, -1.5.
Yes, notice that that -1.5 is important because that's what goes on when you've got huge odds. Carlos Rodon for the Giants has been one of the best pitcher in the National League for about the last month and a half. Bryce Wilson is a former Brave, acquired a year ago. Bryce Wilson's claim to fame was that in the, 2020 National League Championship Series, he threw a 6-inning shutout against the Dodgers. But the fact of it is he has never before or since lived up to anything close to that. He gives up a lot of walks, a lot of base runners, and this is not the kind of team that you can do that against on the road and get away with it. Rodon is not going to give up a lot of runs, and I'm willing to lower the odds if you look at the way those kind of things go. Take San Fran minus the 1.5. They're going to get it done.
You think San Fran's going to get it done tonight? That'll get you back to 500. That'll be a big win.
You know, I can't think of the last time that I said to myself, "Self, you're going to lose." That's part of the problem. We're 11-12 for a reason. We're looking for respectability this weekend. It's that simple.
Respectability. That's what this
respectability. That's all we can.
That's what this weekend's all about.
That is what it's all about. Now, Billy, in the weeks to come, Friday may have 4 or 5 plays.
Look out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yes.
You can book it.
Well, yes, you can. Thank you.
We're going to be hearing that a lot.
Listen, I'm sorry we were not able to pull off the Danny Evans interview. I really wanted to try to get that done. Hopefully sometime early next week he can join us. Billy, have a good weekend.
George, you too. Football's almost here.
Yep. All of you have a good weekend. Monday, we got a good show for you, headlined by SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey, who today said he wants to reopen discussions about expanding the NCAA basketball tournament. All of that and more Monday. You've been watching Main Street Media Television.